Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe button. You have now tuned into the best MMA channel, period. A lot of you people just don't know it yet. So we're just going to get right into it. So I got word today that Paulo Costa pulled out from the fight with Khamzat. And the replacement, people, is Usman. So now we have Usman versus Khamzat. And I think there are a lot of moving pieces in this fight, a lot of things to talk about, people. And the first thing that came to mind was Usman is actually moving up in a weight class. This would be the first time, that Usman has moved up to the 185-pound division. And it's going to be interesting to see how he moves and how he reacts to this weight class. I think that 15 pounds is a lot of weight to move up from. Now, he might benefit from it, but it's going to be interesting to see how his power translates to this division, how his cardio translates to this division, how his body simply moves in this division. And he's going up against a guy who is dangerous and who we've been calling to move up in weight classes because he had a hard time making the weight class. Khamzat is a really big dude. He's a really solid sized guy, and it seemed like he was having a hard time cutting to 170. And so I think this is his actual weight class, whereas Usman, I think he's in that in between where he could move up to 185, but he looked phenomenal at 170. Now, he could be a little bit more durable in the 185-pound division, but he wasn't really not durable in the 170. And your thought may be, well, hey, he got knocked out by Leon Edwards. I think anybody who got hit with that kick that Leon Edwards threw flush to the noggin is going to sleep. So you can't take out the factor of Usman getting knocked out by Leon Edwards and write him off as saying that he's not durable, because he's incredibly durable. I mean, he doesn't really get knocked out other than the Leon Edwards fight. And so going into this, there's another thought that comes to mind, that Usman is a replacement. And we don't really know if the fact that he's moving up in weight class and that he is a replacement, so he has a shorter amount of time to get physically and mentally prepared for this fight. And I think that's going to be a huge downfall for Usman going up against a guy like Khamzat. The first face that he sees in the 185-pound division is Khamzat. Now, on the other hand, I think Khamzat is getting a more well-rounded fighter in Usman. I think Paulo Costa was a fighter who all he really had to worry about was Costa's power in the stand-up and his ability to stand up. Khamzat was a clear-cut advantage when it came to the ground game, and I really think that was probably going to be Khamzat's way of winning that fight, was that he probably wasn't going to really stand too much with Paulo. He was just going to do what he does when it comes to grappling and dominate that fight in that fashion. But Usman's a bit of a different story. Usman is known to be a very, very strong grappler. Strong enough, in my opinion, to avoid takedowns from Khamzat. But the thing is, Usman is coming in on short notice when it comes to both aspects of what I just mentioned, the mental game and the physical game. Will he be physically prepared? Will he be conditioned enough? Will he be able to translate the power as he should into this 185-pound division? And I think that's going to be a no in my mind, because he hasn't had enough time to prepare. And so that's going to be a mark on Usman's ability to win this fight. Now, if I had to choose the victor to this fight, I think I would go with Khamzat. Because, first of all, I think Khamzat is in his natural weight class. I think he should be in the 185-pound weight class. Usman could leave it or take it. Usman also hasn't had time to prepare. And I mean, he's a replacement, people. And so Khamzat has had a full training camp, and although Khamzat wasn't preparing for Usman, he has physically prepared for anybody. And so that's just one thing that Khamzat has to kind of adapt to, whereas Usman is adapting to both increase in weight class, the short notice, going against Khamzat, not having time to really study up on Khamzat. Those are factors that are really going to hurt him, and I have Khamzat winning probably by decision. I don't think Khamzat has enough to get the job done as far as knocking Usman out, or as far as like submitting him or grounding, pounding him to a finish. I think that it's going to be a fairly competitive fight, but there are going to be moments where Khamzat has the advantage simply because of pressure and being able to put on a heavier load on Usman. And that's going to cause Usman a lot of problems in my book. Now, if Usman's power carries over into the 185-pound division, we could see a flash knockout, maybe by Khamzat. Khamzat did show a bit of a wobbly chin a little bit. You know, he got wobbled a little bit by Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is a solid puncher, but I think that Usman's got him beat in that department. And so if Usman lands flush on Khamzat and wobbles him, he might be able to get the job done that way. But that's really the only way that I can see him beating Khamzat. I think Khamzat has the advantage when it comes to points. Khamzat, I don't see him knocking out Usman, but I do see him overwhelming him and possibly tiring Usman out and being able to overwhelm him and finish him in that way, maybe by like a TKO, but not by a KO. And so as far as the submission goes, again, it might be just due to exhaustion. Usman's body has to catch up, and he by far does not have enough time to catch up to this 185-pound division. And so tell me your thoughts on this. Like I said, I have Khamzat winning this fight. It's going to be a bomb fight. I think this is an interesting matchup. I really wish that Usman had a chance to actually prepare for this fight. I think we might be seeing a different story if Usman had a full training time to have a full training camp, just as Khamzat has had. And so for that, I have Khamzat winning this. Comment down below what you guys think. Who you think is going to win this fight? How you think they're going to win this fight? Do you think I'm on the mark about this? I really do. I think that this could have been an amazing matchup, and it is, but it could have been a Titan versus a Titan going up against each other, fully prepared. And granted, Usman would still have that moving up to a weight class and not, it being his first time. And again, how would his body translate? And I really do think that Khamzat's body is going to translate a bit better, especially because he's had more time. And so thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe button. You just watched the best fight channel on YouTube, and you may not just know it yet. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.